In the time when Saul was king, the Lord told Samuel, the prophet, that he had rejected Saul as king over Israel and had chosen a new king from among the sons of Jesse of Bethlehem. Samuel was afraid to go to Bethlehem, fearing Saul would kill him. But the Lord instructed him to take a heifer and say he was going to offer a sacrifice. Samuel obeyed, inviting Jesse and his sons to the sacrifice. When they arrived, Samuel saw Eliab, Jesse's eldest son, and thought he must be the one chosen. But the Lord told Samuel not to judge by appearance or height, for he looks at the heart, and Eliab was not the one. Jesse brought Abinadab, but he wasn't chosen either. Then came Shammah, but the Lord rejected him too. Jesse presented 7 of his sons, but none were chosen. Samuel asked if there were any others, and Jesse mentioned his youngest son, David, who was out tending the sheep. Samuel told Jesse to send for him. When David arrived, he was ruddy, handsome, and had bright eyes. The Lord told Samuel, "This is the one, anoint him." Samuel took the horn of oil and anointed David in front of his brothers, and the Spirit of the Lord came powerfully upon David from that day forward. Samuel then returned to Ramah. Meanwhile, the Spirit of the Lord had left Saul, and an evil spirit tormented him. His servants suggested finding a skilled harp player to soothe him when the spirit came. One servant mentioned a son of Jesse from Bethlehem, a talented musician, brave, strong, sensible, and favored by the Lord. Saul sent messengers to Jesse, requesting David's presence. Jesse sent David to Saul, along with gifts of bread, wine, and a young goat. David entered Saul's service and became his armor-bearer. Whenever the evil spirit troubled Saul, David played the harp, bringing relief, and the spirit would leave. Saul grew to love David, and he remained in the king's service. The Philistines prepared for war and assembled their army in the valley of Elah, camping across from the Israelite army, which was positioned on a hill. Saul and the Israelites gathered in the valley, forming their battle line opposite the Philistines, who were on a hill across from them. A giant named Goliath from Gath emerged from the Philistine camp. He stood over 9 feet tall, wearing a bronze helmet and bronze armor that protected his chest and legs, weighing about 125 pounds. He had bronze guards on his arms and carried a bronze spear with an iron spearhead weighing 15 pounds. A soldier walked ahead of him, carrying a large shield. Each day, Goliath shouted to the Israelite army, taunting them, "Why are you lining up for battle? I'm the Philistine champion, and you're merely Saul's servants. I challenge one of you to fight me. If he kills me, we'll be your slaves, but if I kill him, you'll be ours. I defy Israel's army. Send a man to face me." Saul and the Israelites were terrified by this challenge. David, the youngest son of Jesse from Bethlehem in Judah, came from a family with 8 sons. Jesse was an old man, and his 3 eldest sons, Eliab, Abinadab, and Shammah, had joined Saul's army. David tended his father's sheep, but also went back and forth to serve in Saul's army. For 40 days, Goliath issued his challenge twice daily. One day, Jesse instructed David to take a sack of roasted grain and 10 loaves of bread to his brothers in the army, along with 10 chunks of cheese for their commanding officer. Jesse asked David to check on his brothers and bring back proof of their well-being. David obeyed, leaving the sheep with another keeper. He arrived at the camp as the army was lining up, shouting their battle cry, with both sides ready for battle. David left his supplies with the keeper and ran to the front line to find his brothers. As he spoke with them, Goliath appeared and shouted his challenge, causing the Israelites to flee in fear. The soldiers told David that the king offered a great reward for killing the Philistine, including marriage to the king's daughter and tax exemption for the victor's family. David asked nearby soldiers what the reward was for killing Goliath and stopping his insults, exclaiming, "Who does this Philistine think he is, mocking the army of the living God?" They confirmed the king's offer. Eliab, David's eldest brother, overheard and angrily rebuked him, accusing him of neglecting the sheep to watch the battle. David defended himself, asking, "Can't I even talk?" He asked other soldiers the same question and received the same answer. Some men reported David's words to Saul, who summoned him. David told Saul, "Don't worry, your majesty. I'll fight this Philistine." Saul protested, noting David's youth and Goliath's experience as a warrior. David replied that he had protected his father's sheep from lions and bears, rescuing lambs and killing the attackers. He trusted the Lord, who had saved him before, would protect him against Goliath. Saul reluctantly agreed, saying, "Go, and may the Lord help you." He dressed David in his own armor and helmet, but David, unaccustomed to the weight, removed it, saying, "I can't move in this." Instead, he took his shepherd's stick, selected 5 smooth stones from a stream, and placed them in his leather bag. With his sling in hand, he approached Goliath. Goliath, with his shield-bearer ahead, mocked David's youth and appearance, cursing him and threatening to feed his body to the birds and animals. David responded, "You come with a sword, spear, and dagger, but I come in the name of the Lord all-powerful, the God of Israel's army, whom you've insulted. Today, the Lord will help me defeat you. I'll strike you down, cut off your head, and feed the Philistine army to the birds and animals. The world will know Israel has a true God. The Lord doesn't need weapons to save his people. The battle is his, and he'll help us defeat you." As Goliath advanced, David ran toward him, took a stone from his bag, and slung it, striking Goliath's forehead. The stone sank in, and Goliath fell face first to the ground. David had defeated the giant with just a sling and stone, without a sword. He ran to Goliath, took the giant's sword, and cut off his head. Seeing their champion dead, the Philistines fled. The Israelites chased them back to Gath and Ekron, leaving many Philistine bodies along the road from Shaaraim. The Israelites returned and plundered the Philistine camp. Everyone in Israel knew David had killed Goliath. He took Goliath's head to Jerusalem, but kept the giant's weapons in his tent. When David was brought before Saul, the king asked, "Whose son are you, young man?" David replied, "I am the son of Jesse from Bethlehem,